The interesting thing there, they helped Smoltz out of that inning, though, by getting thrown out at second base. I mean, Andrew Jones hit the cutoff man, and they were able to get Simon going to second base. If he stays at first base, he would have forced Smoltz to have to throw a few more pitches, whether he's staying in the game or not.
I mean, it's one thing if there was any real chance that Andrew had of throwing out Glanville, but I don't think there was.
No chance. Glanville has a lot of speed, and Andrew Jones was pretty deep.
So just more bad base running by the Cubs. And it could well still be going, which would have meant more pitches being thrown by John Smoltz.
And I think Smoltz is going to stay in the game, because I think once you put him in, you just about have to leave him there.
Although in the bullpen,
well, you see John Smoltz with a helmet on. Now they try to throw in case they get someone in scoring position or get where they pinch hit, but if no one's on base, I'm sure John Smoltz is going to hit.
Julio Franco at the plate, 0-2 the count, facing Veers. Fastball, and he fouls it off the facing of the upper deck. Veers, by the way, comes into the ball game to hit ninth, also for the Cubs. Paul Bacco is now doing the catching. Bacco hitting in the 8th spot. And Gonzalez, the new shortstop, is hitting in the number 6 spot. Simon, of course, came out as a pinch hitter for Martinez in the number 7 position. So I guess none of those guys that he brought in were guys that Dusty wanted to see hit in the 9th inning against Smoltz, because the pitcher's spot is scheduled to lead off in the 9th. So he still has one other left-handed pinch hitter he could go with. It's Troy O'Leary, but he used 5 of his non-pitchers off the bench in this inning, in the 8th inning. There's Remlinger up in the bullpen. The only non-pitcher that he still has left on his bench is Troy O'Leary. That is the third, Ramirez. And a little bit of a wide throw, but Simon stretched out to get it. And Julio Franco is retired. So here's Vinny Castilla. And it's 0-1.
Well, the one problem you have if you're Dusty Baker and you're on the road like that, I mean, you don't want to leave any bullets in your chamber there. So you use what you have to try to catch John Smoltz. When you have the closer in, you have to use any means necessary to try to score a run, and that's what he did. He pinch ran. If you wouldn't have pinch run Glanville, there's no way anyone else could have gotten the first to third on the base hit by Simon.
You know, John, I'm looking at the lineup here for the Cubs now. Another thing that happened with that poor decision on the base pass by Randall Simon, if he had stayed at first, the 9th hitter would have come up, whoever it was, and Sammy Sosa would have been assured of batting in the 9th inning.
Well, you have Lofton, your leadoff hitter, leading off, which is what you want, too.
So you would have had Lofton, Grudzielanek, and Sosa for the 9th inning as your first 3 hitters. So there are a lot of implications to the choice that Randall Simon made. Vinny Castilla, who's a very dangerous hitter. He fouls that one. Tonight he struck out twice and singled once. Troy O'Leary grabbing a helmet. It's Tom Goodwin, who knocked in the tying run with his sacrifice fly into a double play, as it turned out.
You have to give Goodwin a lot of credit, too, to come off the bench and be able to put John Smoltz in play. I mean, deep enough to score, the run.
It was the first time that Goodwin had ever batted in a big league game against John Smoltz.
Not only that, this is the first time the Cubs have been able to get a sacrifice fly with the bases loaded or a runner at third in less than 2.
Everybody else has been striking out every time they get the bases loaded or a runner at third in less than 2 out. 3-3. I mean, a strange night in many ways, but how about this? The Braves with 12 hits in the game, all singles. Castilla takes the ball, 2-2 the count. Here's the sac fly by Goodwin.
And this is the first pitch, and he puts it into play and hits it in the left center field. Wasn't trying to pull the ball. I mean, I don't know anyone that could throw Glanville out from that deep. I mean, by the time the ball gets back to the infield, he's already crossing the plate. Simon thrown out at second base.
But that's the other thing. Sometimes a runner will intentionally put himself out there so that they will go for him and let the run score. But I mean, if you're going to do that, well, you maybe ought to stop and make sure that run scores before they throw you out. But you saw clearly there that he was well across the plate before they got Simon. 3-2 the count. Simon, of course, a former Brave himself. Started in his big league career with the Braves, but he also got the big hit that sent Glanville over to third. Well, it was 0-2 at one time to Castilla. Now he gets a walk.
One thing about the Braves pitching staff, they've all been good bunters over the years. Meaning Smoltz, Maddox, Glavine. They were all good bunters.
Well, that pitch would have been awfully. The only thing he could have bunted that pitch with was his chin.
Well, the one thing you want to do if you know the guy's bunting, you want to throw the high fastball so you can maybe get a pop-up. You want to throw it up in the strike zone.
Well, there it is again.
Well, he better just throw a strike to take the out.
That game will begin on ESPN2 as we continue to bring you coverage of the Braves and the Cubs from Atlanta. 3-3 the score here. That one is a strike. The Smoltz pulled the bat back. And we mentioned the Cubs only have one non-pitcher still available on their bench, that being Troy O'Leary. There's Mark Pryor, who's their great starting pitcher, but also a very fine hitter. Smoltz fouls that bunt. You know, closers don't often have to come to bat.
Right.
Usually they come in, they pitch the ninth inning, the game's over. Smoltz all year long had one at bat, and he did not use it to bunt, or at least he didn't get the bunt down if that's what he was doing. Cubs have a lot of pitchers who can hit, by the way. Kerry Wood last night got the winning hit in the Game 1 victory. Pitcher's spot due to lead off in the ninth for the Cubs. There's the ball outside. 3-2. Joe Borowski, the closer, up in the bullpen. The right-hander, Remlinger, the left-hander, also up. 3-3, last of the eighth. So Veers is in danger of walking Smoltz here. 3-2 the count. There goes the runner. Smoltz bunts it. Simons only plays to first. Grudzielanek there to cover. The bunt and run. Runner at second with two down. Let's go to Carl Ravitch. So the walk is completed. Veers with a couple of walks in the inning. And now DeRosa will come up. Veers has been around a long time. At one time he was a closer. Two on, two out. Dave Veers in a jam. The Braves have had a lot of men get to scoring position tonight. The splitter. Did he swing? First base umpire Dale Scott asked a rule on that, and he says no.
Well, as you mentioned, Veers throws a lot of splitters. DeRosa starts, and he's able to control the bat.
One ball, no strikes to DeRosa. Starting in place of Marcus Giles tonight. He's had a single, struck out, grounded to third, and struck out looking. 1 for 4. 2 on, 2 out. And tense moments here for this Atlanta crowd. The Braves need a win tonight, and that's a strike call to the outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Already down 1-0 to the Cubs, and heading off to Chicago for games 3 and 4 Game 4 if needed. The Braves are trying to make sure that it will be needed. Mark Pryor will be awaiting them at Wrigley Field. Here's bluffing toward Garcia, the runner at second. Braves have had 12 singles in the first 7 innings, 2 walks in this inning. That's off the catcher. Foul ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Friday at 8 Eastern time, 7 Central. We will be at Wrigley Field on ESPN with Greg Maddux and Mark Pryor. 5 Pacific. Greg Maddux returns to Wrigley, where his big league career started. And Mark Pryor, who was just so sensational down the stretch. Impressive young right-hander. Still 1-2 to DeRosa. The outfield straight away. Dave Veers. Each pitch a big one. This will be his 28th pitch of this inning. Back to the screen. 52,743 the paid crowd tonight. And that is an all-time postseason record crowd in Braves history.
Well, I think the Cubs brought out the fans in Atlanta, and they brought fans from Chicago and from all over the country, probably.
Here's the pitch. That one is hit well into left center. Going back, Moises Alou still going back. He can't get it. Garcia scores the go-ahead run, and Furcal right behind him. A 2-run double for DeRosa. 5-3 Atlanta. And it started with a 1-out walk to Vinny Castilla. And he had at one time had a count of no balls and 2 strikes to Vinny, and then walked him. The second walk was an intentional walk to Furcal so that they could get the matchup with DeRosa. But Veers could not put DeRosa away. 5-3 Atlanta. Sheffield with a mighty cut. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sheffield 1 for 4 in the game. His one hit, an infield hit, back in the 5th inning. So the Cubs will have the pitcher scheduled to lead off in the 9th inning. They have one non-pitcher that they could still use as a pinch hitter. Then Lofton and Grudzielanek. Sammy Sosa will be due 4th in the inning. That one almost hit Sheffield.
Yeah, but it was a splitter. It wasn't a fastball.
Two and 1 to Sheffield. 5-3 the Braves lead. They finally got an extra base hit tonight. That splitter popped in the air. Back at third. Taking charge, Ramon Martinez, or rather Alex Gonzalez now at short, and he takes it. That's the inning. But Mark DeRosa with a big hit. Last chance for the Cubs. 5-3 Atlanta.